The team at the Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media wants to take the time to thank our sponsors, Bryant Family Medicine and Heather Martinez Realtor. We also want to thank our support staff, Valerie Rutherford, Allison Messer, Larry Spicer, Addison Sloan, John North, Shane Shackelford, and last but not least, Keisha Ambergy. With the support of our fine sponsors, our dedicated staff, and you, the members, we are all working on one goal, the promotion of student athletes. With this team, we can't miss.
Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media presents Around the Region, the Fall Sports Show. I'm your host, Mark Gregory, alongside Ryan Garnett, and Edward Halls went off to hide again, doing his normal Edward thing. Probably eating supper. He was awful grouchy before, our little pregame, stuff before the show. So, I don't know. Hopefully, Ryan is grumpy as whatever it is at this point in time.
No, I'm not. I just got done eating myself.
Oh, so what'd you eat, Ryan?
Some Salisbury steak and some corn and some mashed potatoes.
Salisbury steak sounds good on this cold night, and the weather's bad and sticky. The roads are slick. I just advise everybody to stay at home, watch us. After us, then you might can watch that other game going on right now, but don't worry about that. It's after we're off, and then watch the other game. But while we're waiting for Ever to come on and some of our guests to come on, let's talk a little bit about our guests. We have three very special guests tonight. Patrick Gentry from Whitley County, Rachel Howard from Pineville, and Lauren Parton from Lynn Camp. And I'm really excited about tonight's show, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have three good, phenomenal athletes. I mean, two different girls player and the boys player as well. And then we have a wrestling player tonight.
Oh, yeah. And this list keeps expanding. I'm still going to give them the attention each and every time. A shout out to Keisha Ambergy, Jonah Deaton, John Dickinson, Scott Powell, Dennis Mills, and there's other photographers. We're trying to get them all listed up. We're going to give you a shout every show, every chance we can get for allowing us to use your photography and make these graphics. We make $0 on this stuff. We do it to help promote these kids, and we're very thankful for these photographers that allow us to use their stuff to be able to maybe brighten a student athlete's day a little bit. Also, we got photographers of our own, Valerie Rutherford, Larry Spicer, Allison Bester, and even you, Ryan. You got some stuff going on too. So we got photographers everywhere. We want to thank all of you, and still all the support that the Shane Shackelfords, the John Doors, the Steve Black that's helped us, build this thing, and plus you, the viewer, and all the love that you give us and support also, and it takes one big team to build this, and we're building it stronger than ever at this point in time. And talking about stronger than ever, Edward finally comes in.
I'm always here.
Well, maybe somebody on the comment section could say something funny to get Edward in a good mood. I was telling Rod how grumpy he was on their little pre-show there. He was grouching and everything, griping.
Dad, I'm often kids. I'm often kids.
Well, that would have to bring a smile to his face. So can't say enough about that. But while we're waiting for our first guest, let's give a big special shout out to our sponsors. And again, we cannot say enough about them. Edward brought a little special guest on there. So what's your name?
Edward.
Is it Edward? What's your name?
My name's Edward.
Okay. So
My name's Edward.
How old are you? You 25-year-old?
I'm 4 years old.
You're 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you have any hard-hitting questions to ask this young man?
No, I was not prepared for that.
But
to go back and play.
we'll give a special shout out to Bryant Family Medicine and also Heather Martinez Realty. And again, between Bryant Family Medicine, Heather Martinez, all their generosity that they give us, this stuff ain't free, folks. And these shirts that we wear and our hoodies and yeah, Ryan showed off that nice t-shirt too. But it's almost about time to pull the hoodie out. It's about cold enough to scrap the the t-shirt. We're getting a message from somebody. Hopefully that Edward sees that and he can take care of that for us.
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
Edward,
Edward does all the inviting and everything like that.
yeah,
My computer will not allow me to do it.
Edward will fix that in a minute. I'm telling you, Edward's good like that. But while we're waiting on our first guest, uh, we cannot say enough about our sponsors. And thank you, the viewer. You can see these views right now. Cannot say enough about that either. And again, like I said, after we're over, they're more than welcome to go watch that game that's on right now. But don't worry about that right now. This should be way more important than that. And Ryan is not watching that game beside them or nothing like that.
I could kill it. I could care less about both teams anyway. My team is sitting at the house.
Well, while we're are we ready to bring on our first guest before Edward there? He looks like Edward's zoning out or something. We don't know what's going on with Edward. Edward, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm just working. I'm working on a few things.
Edward's saying he's working, so we'll take him on his word. But let's bring on our first guest, Gentry Patrick from Whitley County. And Gentry, thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
I know we probably live pretty close in the same area, so I got to ask you, are you loving that weather right now?
I am not. I like the first week we was out of school, and then after that, it's just kind of I don't like staying in the house too much.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to get old. It's like I'm waiting for the sunny and 60 to come up for sure. But tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about how the seasons went for you so far.
Well, to start out, I'm a senior at Whitley County. I've wrestled for the last 3 years. I went to state my sophomore year as an alternate. As of right now, we've been pretty good, myself included. We've won a couple matches here and there, and then most of our events we've done duels, which is the whole team competes against other teams, and we've won a couple of those too. We just wrapped up sectionals last week.
Gentry, it's just not only wrestling for you. You also play other sports also, don't you?
Yeah, I played football. Wrapped up our season this year. We finished with the same record as we did last year, which we lost a couple close games and we won a couple close games. Both of our programs, wrestling and football, is building. And then shortly after wrestling season is done, I'll be doing track and field as well.
Track and field, wow. So we get to cover you on that too. What exactly do you do on track and field?
I throw shot put and discus.
We know already what kind of a talented athlete you are, and even a better guy. I've got to know you quite personally, and just you got a great head on your shoulders. You're a great guy. I just love talking to you for sure. But we know how talented of athlete you are, and at the next level, or anything that you're looking at, or are you good to go on any sport that you would want to do?
There was talk last year of doing potentially, playing at the next level in football, but then it just kind of merged over to I wanted to compete in wrestling at the next level. And I haven't got any offers yet or anything like that. So I've moved my focus towards, doing trade schools, such as I applied to Somerset and I've been accepted to Somerset. And it's
Congratulations.
just, thank you. It's just kind of moved on to the next step of I've been accepted, and now just what all do I want to do while I'm at Somerset the next few years.
If an offer does come your way, like a wrestling or a football, would that be something you would consider, or are you completely locked in with what you're doing right now?
It would definitely be a possibility. I've always dreamed of as a kid. Ever since I was little, I want to play football. But then, as soon as I learned about wrestling, started competing in wrestling, I don't know what it is about wrestling, but I like it better. It's harder on your mentality, your physique, how you practice every day, and how you train every day. And I just like it better than football.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it too. I know firsthand. And fellers, I'm telling you, if you see this guy firsthand, this guy's absolutely ripped. He's cut up. He's somebody you wouldn't want to arm wrestle or anything like that. Trust me. But Ryan or Edward, go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. I believe what I just said. But what was your kind of favorite wrestling match that you've played? It could be this year or the past 3 years.
Favorite wrestling match would probably be my first year, my sophomore year. Just kind of, it was late in the regionals, and it's my first year, so I didn't have very high hopes of making it to state. But then how it ended up was I had to win one more match to be into state, and I just kind of got out there like it was 15 minutes. Coaches told me if I won that match, I would go to state. If I lost it, then I wouldn't. And 15 minutes later, I wrestled that match, and I won dominantly. And then that just kind of became my favorite match, best match I've ever wrestled.
And then, how has playing football made you a better wrestler and competing in track and field?
It definitely helps. Wrestling helps with football, and football helps with wrestling. Football has helped me tremendously because of how hard you have to work in the weight room and how hard you have to carry on your aggression on the field. And then wrestling helps me in football with my footwork and just my flexibility on, even if it's a simple drill of doing bags and stuff, it helps really well doing wrestling. Like I said, the footwork, just getting around it really fast. And track and field, it all ties in together. Wrestling helps football, football helps wrestling, and both of those sports help with track and field. Like I said, just on flexibility with the arms and how your fitness level is at times, and it just all ties in together.
And then this is my favorite question to ask all of the athletes. What is your favorite restaurant to eat at in Williamsburg?
My favorite restaurant in Williamsburg, that's a tough one.
Name me in Williamsburg.
Yeah, that's favorite restaurant. I'll probably have to go with Sabor Latino in the mall. Rice and chicken and beans. It's simple and common, but it helps a lot in the long run for athletes like me that eats a lot.
Edward?
I like to win them all too.
So Wrestling is, something that we have been learning a little bit about. Yeah, I've got to ask you because I do like asking this question. Have you ever caught yourself like in a certain grab and just wanting to like body slam or DDT with your opponent?
Yeah, I've been in that way a couple of times. There's a team um, in our regionals, or in our region, I should say. I'm not going to say who they are because they might get mad at me later for saying this, but they like to tie up in a specific hold that involves body slamming, and sometimes they'll say that it's legal or it's not illegal. So every time I wrestle them, I usually get the urge to try to put them in their own move and body slam them, but I never end up doing it because I know I'll have to run afterwards or do 2 times harder in practice.
So I do got to ask you. You just mentioned practice. So how long does your practices normally last?
On a typical school day, we'll start practice from 3, and it'll end between 5:30 and 6, depending on if we have a meet next day or something like that. Um, right at the beginning, we start doing warm ups, stuff like that, and then we'll spend 15 to 20 minutes on warm ups, getting nice and loose and flexible, and then we'll start right from the get go, hard practice.
So I'm assuming like if you have a meet, is your practices just a little bit longer to get yourselves ready?
If meet, we'll end it right at 5:30. That's with all of our mats rolled up because we unroll and roll our mats up before and after each practice. So usually if we have a meet the next day, we'll roll them up just maybe a little bit early, and that way we get all of our information out and how our weights are going to stack up for the next day.
So I do got to ask you, during the course of a match, are you like a trash talker, or you just let like your game do the talking? Because if I'm wrestling Mark, I'm gonna tell him I'm getting ready to body slam him, then I'm gonna trip him.
He would. He would. He would.
There's definitely times I never usually do a lot of trash talking. I will look over at my opponent and just stare at them for a minute and mess with their mind a little bit because, like I said, wrestling's a mentality. So if you ain't got the mentality from the start, you're probably not going to perform well once you get on the mat. So usually I'll look over at my opponent that I'm wrestling and I'll just stare at them for a minute or let them stare at me and get a glimpse of what they're getting ready to get handled for the next 6 minutes.
So, I hear every wrestler say that wrestling's a mental thing. So, what do you do to get yourself in the right mind frame before your match?
Usually I just think about how I've progressed in the years coming and how I am right now, and then most time I usually go through a quick prayer of the day. I have a book of different prayers and just different things that help me. Like some days I'll listen to music first, and then other days I'll go straight into prayer and see what the daily devotion is for that day, and then I'll just do a quick mental check of myself, and then I'll get ready to go on that.
All right, so I do got to ask you, are you up to voting on some restaurants? We got like a little food bracket thing we've been doing.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to see this next group. Actually, last week, Gentry, we had a number 16 seed that went down. Number 1 seed went down. Let me get that right. The number 16 seed that beat the number 1. So we already had like a major upset.
All right, so
All right.
No, trying to get it up.
So you've got number 6 White Castle versus number 11 Shallow Steakhouse.
I know who I'm going with that.
I'll probably go with number 6.
One for the castle.
Yeah.
And then
So you got a number 3 seed Chili's versus a number 14 seed McDonald's.
I'll go with McDonald's because I've never ate at Chili's. So
I'm writing it down so we can have a total at the end of the night too.
All right, so you got number 7 Dairy Queen versus number 10 Denny's.
definitely Dairy Queen.
That's interesting. That's gonna be a tough one. I do like the Blizzards.
So you got number 2 Slim Chicken versus number 15 Penn Station.
Slim Chicken. You can't beat their sauce and the way they handle their chicken.
They do got some good sauce there.
I've never ate there, so I don't really know.
All right, so before I transfer you back over to Mark and Ryan, we do tend to put together a few graphics for each student athlete that does come on our show. And this is kind of our way of saying thank you for taking your time. But we do kind of want to get your idea on which one you like the most, whether it's the first one or the second one. And Mark's trying to bribe you, just so you know.
I just say a piece of Gentry. Trust me, you
Yeah.
don't want this man mad at you. We'll have to go visit him. He'll know what I'm talking about. This guy's put the work in.
So, and which I will get these sent out to you after the show's over with, and they will be on all of our social media sites. But just kind of give us the idea of which one you like the most.
All right.
So, out of the two, which one you like the most?
Let me see number 1 again. I would probably say number 2.
Marking is
Yes.
marking is bribing.
Thank
It
you,
definitely helps.
Gentry.
It definitely helps.
But-
I think I watched this last weekend as well. Me and Zach Smith, we both have the same taste of the matte background. So I'm not saying number 1 wasn't the best, but it's just the matte that does it for me, and the background helps.
Thank you. See? Gentry just trying to show you the way. He can only open the door. You just have to walk through that door.
but I'm gonna get you back over to Mark and Ryan. But everything that I've seen, and everything that Mark's told me from the times that he's took you, you're killing it. Your team's killing it, and I'm looking to see what the future holds for you and your team.
Great young man.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan, you got any final deals for Gentry?
I just want to say thank you for coming on, and best of luck to you and your team the remainder of the season.
Thank you for
Gentry, I'm gonna follow up in their steps again. Of course, thank you for coming on, and I feel honored, being able to watch you this year, and I wish it. Wrestling was something that we covered a couple of years ago. It's something new for us, and young men like you and some of the younger ladies that's come on also. Jens has helped us more than you'll ever know because you are educating us about the sport of wrestling, and because of people like you and others that's come on besides you, is going to educate us to be able to promote, be able to cover these events the way that we should. So we want to give you all the credit in the world for helping us, and any deal, especially when track and field comes on, give us some schedules and stuff, and we'll definitely try to get down there and try to cover you some on that too.
Thank you all for inviting me. That's all of us athletes, no matter it be Whitley County or surrounding schools. We like getting the exposure from you all on your social media pages and stuff like that, and it really helps us. Just kind of gives us a bit of a boost that hey, we're on a talk show, and we're we're getting our exposure that we finally probably deserve, because most of our sports ain't really getting looked at from other individuals. So thank you all.
Absolutely.
And Mark, I just want to interrupt you real quick. And you're talking about, yes, you all deserve, the exposure as much as any other sport also. And I want to tell you the same thing. Anything that you think you need to be recognized for, because I'm still not real familiar with like milestones and stuff with wrestling, but anything that you think that's a huge milestone, feel free to reach out to me, Mark, or Ryan, and we'll put you something together, because anything we can do to try to help better promote you and your team, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just great interview, and I've got to know Gentry really, really well this year, and just a great young man, and whatever he decides to do at the next level, he'll be just fine. So, are we ready for our second guest?
Absolutely.
And this young lady, we probably had her on a couple times. Let's just say a couple times. But Rachel Howard, thank you for coming on. And you're not out driving or anything like that right now, are you?
No, but after this, I'm going sledding. So.
Oh, sledding.
Yes.
And I think a few days ago, I was going to say a few weeks. I think a few days ago, I think I even saw some video of you. You might have been doing a snow angel little deal also.
Yeah, I did. That was me.
Well, my story on it, I tried to do one. I slipped, about broke my ankle. Yeah, I hurt for days over that. Yeah, it wasn't, mine wasn't a comfortable landing. And of course, Amy went out there and did hers after I did mine. So we go out there the next morning. Hers looks like this perfect little angel. Mine looks like a bowling ball.
That's funny. Yeah.
Mine didn't even look like an angel. But Rachel, just tell us a little bit about your season so far in basketball, and then we might jump on to something else too afterward.
So far it's been good. We've had a really good time playing with each other, and we're just waiting for our next game. Hey, Bobby D.
I had a feeling he was going to come on here eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was sort of leading into the next question, and I guess people just totally blinded if they don't know how great of an athlete you actually are. That you do play other sports, and
Yeah.
I think there was a little something that you was going to go to today, but of course, weather didn't permit it. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was going to go to like a pitching clinic at EKU, but snowed, so that's not good. But I get to go sledding, so I don't know. Works out both ways.
Like I said,
Pitching, sledding, they
Yeah,
go hand in hand. What was you pitching while you were sledding?
I did pitch actually today, so yeah,
Well,
in the gym.
So as you throw that Frosty the Snowman out there or something, like wiping them out one pitch at a time, like, bam, bam.
Yep, definitely.
Um, again, we know you play basketball and softball. So are there any other sports that you do of that I'm not aware of?
Nope, that's my only two.
Are there any other sports you plan on doing?
No, but I like watching my friends play volleyball, but it's not me.
I
Like,
was
I like
thinking,
watching them play.
volleyball.
Yeah.
Would that be something you would try?
I think I'm more of an observer on that because I really like watching like John North get into it, and I like cheering for it. But I don't think it's me. I don't think that's me there.
I don't know why, and this is how my brain works. Anytime I go talking volleyball, I think about dodgeball for some odd reason. It's like both sports sort of, I'm thinking about the movie Dodgeball, and the woman in that movie, she's a softball pitcher. Can you imagine playing dodgeball against Rachel? If she's like hitting you with that ball, like, no, I would not play. I would not. No.
Nope.
Do you think dodgeball should be a sport in high school?
I mean, yeah, it's
Would that
contact
be
with the
something? Would
ball.
that be something you would do? Would you be on like a dodgeball team?
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be on that. I know who my team be too, so already.
If I could talk Edward into it, if we get you a dodgeball, if you really put a lot behind it, would you hit Edward one time for dodgeball? This video.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
listen, why's it got to be me walking away with the bruises? Why can't it be Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan probably would get taken, but Ryan and Edward go ahead.
This is my favorite
Hey.
question to ask athletes.
Mm.
What is your favorite restaurant to eat at in Bell County? That's Milford or Palm.
Ryan's in the restaurant mode tonight. He just got done eating Salisbury steaks and mashed potatoes and everything right before this show.
Like Taco Bell.
Hey, there we go.
I guess that's where I go. I don't know.
And how does playing basketball help you with softball or vice versa?
Well, playing basketball helps me because I'm in shape for softball. So even though I don't run, I feel like I can get faster to first base because of basketball. And then softball helps me because I can throw the ball far with one arm. Like when I pass, I literally just throw with one arm. I don't do two arms. It's like weird.
Yeah, this is a softball question. Do you think Mark or Edward, either one, could hit your pitches?
No.
I mean, maybe anything's possible. So I don't know.
The only way I could hit her pitch is like if she pitched it and landed it on one of those little what are they called, like a little tee that you hit it off from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she threw it and landed it there. I could do it. I've watched her firsthand. I can't. Yeah, moves too fast for me to even be able to see it.
If you're pitching and I move into it, you like bonk it off my arm, wouldn't that be considered a hit because I'd be taking the base?
No.
I think I really don't know. I think it's a foul ball.
I've got another comment on here.
Yeah, I don't run. I run the first though. So.
Edward.
So I do got to ask you, what's your favorite aspect about basketball?
Probably really just being with my friends, cause I have played with the girls I've been playing with, like Cameron and Ava, since I was like in third grade, and I don't know, it's our last year together, so I think that's really what it is this year, just being with my friends.
So that actually leads me into my next question. So since you all have, you've been playing together for so long, how does that help you all's team chemistry out there on the court?
Well, it helps us a lot because we are also always together during school, and I think we feel like we can tell each other stuff without getting mad at each other, like, oh, she's being rude, but like we know we're trying to help each other. So
I do got to ask you, does Bobby D push you as hard in basketball as he does in softball?
yeah, he pushes me to just be a better person, even in life. He gives me great advice sometimes. Oh, that's my dad. Thanks, James Robert. Oh my god. Okay.
That is an interesting thing to look into as far as.
That gives me some research to be doing now.
Has that ever been done? That would be
I don't
definitely
know.
interesting. That's a ride in Edward because that's way over my head. 'Cause I would
That's
actually
what,
try to look it up, Rachel, but me, I'd be like,
Yeah,
no,
I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't.
I'm not good at the looking up
Yeah,
stuff.
me either. So I don't know.
that'd be a lot of research for me to have to try to do, but it can be done.
Yeah,
Oh, that gives me some researching to be doing. So
him
I'll
and
definitely be looking that up.
them two guys will find it out. Trust me, they'll.
And he actually beat me to one of my questions. I was going to ask you about your thoughts on hitting the 1,000 point club.
Well, my cousin Sawyer has 2,000 points, and then my mom has 1,000 points. So I'm glad I get to join them too. So that's really all. I have more strikeouts than points though, which I think is like weird.
Uh,
So
I don't know. You do strike out everybody that gets up to the plate. So I mean,
yeah,
and yes, that's something I actually did know because I done a lot of research on that last year and broke down exactly how many strikeouts per game in a story that she'd have to be able to break that record.
yeah.
So, not all of your games has been uploaded yet as far as stats wise. But right now you're setting at basically 110 rebounds, which means basically 10 rebounds a game, and you're averaging right at around 14, 15 points a game. So that basically makes you a double double every time you step on the court. So, just how do you do that?
Well, I don't know really. Well, the only thing I really have is like a hook shot. So I hope before a game, I'm like, well, I hope my hook shot goes in, and then I just try and grab the ball when someone shoots it. I don't know.
Well, Mark always does say the hook shot's probably the most unguardable shot, and it's you're proving it this season. So I mean, you're setting at almost 170 points already, and you've only played like 12 games this season.
Yeah, that's like literally all my points is the hook shot. Like all 1,000 of them is the hook shot. Like I'm not playing. It's the only thing I shoot.
So this is actually a Mark question. Would you try a granny shot during the middle of a game?
No, because my coach is Coach LG and Debbie Green. I would not.
What if you got fouled? Would you try it there, or would they just pull you back out anyhow?
I don't even want to think what they do, but golly. It wouldn't be fun practice. I'll tell you that.
But Mark, before I show her a few things, I know you got a bracket you'd like to go over.
We want to ask you, Rachel. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we've been doing like a food bracket where we're having like our field of 64 restaurants. And like last week, the number one seed got beat already by a 16 seed. So we're already making history for food bracket. So would you be willing to give us your votes on 4 games?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll let Ryan post it up. Okay,
Um,
number 3 Chili's against number 14 McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I figured McDonald's would come back hard on that. And Chili's was leading 2-0 before tonight's vote. White Castle or Shiloh Steakhouse?
The steakhouse.
Don't like White Castle?
I just love steak more. So
DQ or Denny's?
Dairy Queen.
Well, that's sort of shocking. Dairy Queen's showing out tonight.
And then the last one here.
Slim Chicken or Penn Station?
The chicken one. I've never had either, but I mean I like chicken, so
It's sort of like a uptick version of like Raising Cane's or something like that. About the
yeah,
same.
probably that then.
But got a couple more comments. I'll let Edward show you a few things. Guard anyone left-handed in the post, it's hard to stop.
Oh
Right.
yeah! Shout out Hustle Hoops and our boys because they won the All A. Yep, love them.
But
And if I ain't
yeah,
mistaken, they're traveling off to, is it Wednesday? Or-
Yep, whole town's going.
but I agree with you about the hook shot. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored a few points doing that hook shot also. So scored a couple points. So that is the most unstoppable shot in basketball. If you perfect that, nobody's blocking that. And especially, you know, like Robert said, guard anyone left-handed. That's really hard too. So yeah, you've got it going on there. But again, thank you for coming on, Rachel. I'll let Ryan
Thank
and Edward
you.
finish up with you and keep on keeping on. And I'm sure we'll probably have you back on pretty soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
I just want to say thank you for coming on. Best of luck to you in the rest of the basketball season, and then can't wait to cover you in softball this spring.
Thank you.
So, Rachel, we do tend to make a couple graphics for each student athlete that comes on, and we will get these sent over to you, and they will be posted on all of our social media sites. But just kind of want to get your idea whether it's the first one or the second one you like the most.
Okay. I like the first one. The second one's good too. I like the first one. They're both great though.
See, Mark, right?
It is.
Rachel understands the OG style's the best. But Rachel, I've watched things firsthand. You're killing it. Your team's killing it, and I'm sure you'll see me again. A couple more times this season. And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Another great interview, and cannot say enough about Rachel, and just a very special athlete. But that'll lead us on to our next athlete, special athlete. They're on the court also, but Lauren Parton from Lynn Camp. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
And we're not too late. I think we told you 7:40. I think we're 7:42. So,
Oh, that's perfect. That's fine.
Lauren, when you get our age, you get a little bit more older and slower. I know you got a few years before you catch up to me, but you get a little older and slower with age. But first off, I want to thank you for coming on, and it's always fun speaking to you. And it's been a while, and it's just told the guys that we gotta get Lauren on the show, gotta get her on the show. So finally we got you on here. Thank you for coming on for
Thank you
sure.
guys for having me. Thank you.
Gotta ask you about the weather. Are you liking this weather, or do you just want to move to Florida right now?
I'd be happy moving to Florida. I'm gonna be honest. The snow's really pretty, but I am forever a summer person. I love it being hot. I love swimming. I love tanning. I love being outside. And so I'm kind of tired of the snow. After one good one, I'm kind of over it. So I'm ready for it to be summer now.
I am too. Was you caught into this whole snow angel challenge that was going around?
I did not. I never got roped into it. And kind of as a joke, I asked my friends how mad they would be if I asked them to do it. And they all were like, we'd kill you. And so I was like, okay. So I kind of stayed out of it. I was just a viewer on that one. I just watched people.
Right.
Yeah,
We should have seen her tag. We should have seen her tag.
I watched you all do it. I saw your guys. Yeah, I saw a lot of them, but never did one.
Well, I fell, about broke my ankle. Mine wasn't a comfortable landing. Now Edward and Ryan did theirs really good though.
About fell, get back up.
But Lauren, just tell us a little bit about the season, and then we'll ask you a few others. Because again, people are blinded if they don't know that you're a very special athlete. You got other sports you play, very talented in everything you do. So, but just Tell us a little bit about basketball, and then we'll go on from there.
Well, obviously, as a whole for our team, the season isn't going the way that I would like for it to be right now.
Yeah.
I wish we could win more for sure, but I am happy with the way we're hustling. I think that towards the point we are at in the season right now, we're doing a lot better, being able to compete a little more. Even if the scoreboard doesn't show that, I feel like we played yesterday and we played Friday as well, Bell County on Friday, and we played Somerset Independent last night. I think we hustled great in both the games, even though it did, like I said, it didn't really reflect on the score. I was really proud of the way we played as a team and the way we fought. And so that has improved a lot since the beginning of the season. I think we're showing a lot more grit. And I wish it could show on our record, and I wish we could reflect that hustle on the record. But hopefully we can pick up a few more wins before the end of the season in district play too.
It's I'm like you. I'm like you. It's not really about the wins or losses. It's about the improvement. You're definitely improving every game, and you can see and the heart to hustle. It's there every game. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And again, nobody's been watching sports in this area if they don't know that you do other stuff. So could you tell the viewers that's been blinded? Tell the viewers other sports you play.
Well, I run cross country as well, and I play softball too, and we do pretty good in both of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
areas. Cross country, I went to state every year for that since seventh grade. My teams went to state, and then the year before last, we didn't have enough to have a team, but we all went individually. So I've always got to run at state for cross country, and I love the sport of cross country. It's not talked about as much, but I really, really enjoy running, and it gets me ready for basketball season. So I'm up to shape, even though I come really late and usually only get about a week or two of practice with basketball before the season actually starts and games start. I'm in pretty good shape coming out of cross country. So that's beneficial. And then softball is, we won district last year. That was huge. And then we've won all A a couple times while I've been there. And I really enjoy playing softball too. So I love basketball. I love softball. I love cross country. I love all I do.
Well, cross country is something that we started trying to cover this year. So uh, definitely we got to bring you on a few more times if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
to just educate us about the sport of cross country because it's something new that we're getting into and and it takes student athletes like you just to say, hey, this is how the sport is run because I know it's more than just running and trying to beat the person. And we've come up with some of the craziest stuff here. I mean, if I was running, I'd probably try to run through the ropes, and I know you can't do that, but are they? Do you do like the indoor track, or have you just or anything like that?
That got brought up a while ago as maybe a possibility, but indoor track is during basketball season. And so that would kind of be conflicting. And so I ended up deciding not to do that just so I wasn't too, when I'm in a season, I want to give my all to that sport. And so trying to like double season is kind of complicated. And I want to make sure that I can like dedicate my time to basketball instead of trying to half and half it. So that was an option. And then track, of course, I did that a little bit in middle school whenever I wasn't really playing varsity softball as much, seventh and eighth grade. But then once I got into high school freshman year and started starting for varsity, that became too hard for me to keep that up as well. So I wasn't able to do either of those, even though it was fun. Track was fun, but it just, when it came down between track and softball, I chose to keep playing softball.
And of course, the softball you mentioned, they've been a lot of firsts here recently, and you've been a big reason why. And you and your lead camp family over there, it's been a pleasure for me to cover, and I always love going down there and stuff like that. And softball, I just it's hard not to love your team, and just again, just what you do down there, and just between the three that you spoke of, are and you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but when it's time to go to the next level, I think you still got another year to go here. But uh, are you leaning one or the other? Have you already made up your mind on that?
I really have no idea yet. I'm still kind of trying to just leave it open in all areas to kind of see what kind of offers come in for it. Just kind of keep an open mind and kind of keep it whatever God's plan for me to do, whichever one I do in college will be the one that I do. And so I love them all equally, truthfully. I don't think I could pick one or the other to let go or to keep playing. So it'll just kind of come down to the kind of what I get to look at, topped on to like what I decide to do academically, because that means a lot to me too, like my academic life too. And so I definitely don't want to choose the college that I go to based on sports. I want to make sure that like my career and my academics come before that. So if it goes hand in hand and it works out and that's what God's plan is, and that'll be great. But I'm kind of just leaving it up to his plan for me.
Well answered. I can't follow up from that. Edward Rod, that's just a great answer, Lauren. But I don't expect no less from you. You're. I mean, you get it. You get it.
She left me speechless. Edward,
Yeah.
go
Yes.
first, and I've got something to show her after Edward gets done.
You leave me following up after that? What the world?
Yes, I do.
I mean, honestly, just talk to Lauren at this point in time. And Lauren, you're a junior. Am I right? You're a junior.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Me, a junior in high school, compared to her, light years above me. Light years. I mean, yeah. The only thing I know as a junior in high school was, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm just, I'll just keep it at that. But yeah, that's just a very overwhelming answer there, but very, very good answer.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna try this, but I ain't gonna make no guarantees. But so I did hear you earlier talking about that. You've seen the improvement in your team and how the hustle has changed. And I'm actually looking at your schedule as we're talking, and you can see each game that the gap is closing.
Mm-hmm.
So what's one thing that you think that you've seen different from your team from the very first game till just the game you had against Somerset?
I think that there's been an adjustment in our attitudes at practice. That was a lot of discussion that a concern I had that I kind of like voiced to the coaches, that there wasn't a whole lot of focus in practice. And I think that over the past couple of weeks, that's really shifted. And that really does make a difference during the game. That's kind of a cliche term of like, you practice how you play, but it really is true. If you're not working on the little things in practice and dedicating your time to be beneficial, then in the games it's not going to come through and show. And so the past few weeks, I would say a week or two for sure, we've really been like focusing at practice and individually focusing on the things we need to improve on, as well as focusing on the things we need to improve on as a team. And I think that that's helped us out a lot for sure.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you look at stats as much as I do, because once you get to my age, it's about all you can do anymore. But points wise, of course, your most recent game hasn't been updated, but as of right now, you're averaging 23.3 points per game and 11.2 rebounds per game. So you are a double machine every time you step out on that court. So I just got to ask, how do you do it?
Kind of piggybacking off of what I just talked about was practice. I really do try to focus in practice and make that time really important. And so I think putting in the work at practice, and then we have open gyms on Sundays. It's kind of been hard the past couple of weeks with all the snow and stuff, so it's not been as consistent. But there at the beginning of the season, we had open gym every Sunday. That was completely optional and unmandatory. And we didn't have a lot show up. There'd be like 2 or 3 of us, but they kept having it. And I always came to those because I think that just that hour, like between church, that I can spend like foul shots up, working on post moves, stuff like that, that time that I can spend individually working really like helps and makes a difference. And then of course, like I was mentioning God earlier, I give him all the glory for like the points, the rebounds. I wouldn't be able to do anything without him and his blessings that he's given me.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you, if you had a choice, which one would you prefer to do? Would you prefer to get like the big time rebound that won your team the game, or would you rather get the bucket that won your team the game?
That's a hard one. Both of those would be great. I think I would have to go with rebound though, honestly. Like getting to like pull a rebound down and then pass it out to someone and then they'd be able to shoot a 3. That like to me feels better than me being able to just like hit a layup or something like that. I don't know. It just feels more hustle like oriented. Like you just, not saying you don't hustle to get your points, but you hustle like you have to box out and then bring the rebound down and then you see someone open and you throw it out, and it's just like that feeling is like unmatched for me, is being able to do that. So probably rebound.
Lauren, you're pretty mild mannered, young woman. But every now and then, when you're pulling down a rebound, do you have to do? Roar? I mean, does it ever? Do you ever do anything like that, or you
I
still
mean,
mild
I don't know. Honestly, there might be
mannered?
sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, if I pulled down big time rebound, I'd have to. So I mean, it's just
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
But before I get you over to Ryan, this is probably one of my favorite questions to ask. As in basketball, what would you consider your favorite aspect about basketball?
Ooh, that's a big question. Okay. I would probably say how you not only can get like obviously most sports are team sports, but you have like the individual aspect of basketball on top of the team aspect as well. So like I can have like you said 23 something points a game and that's great for me, but then you also get to like perform with your team too. And even though again my team's not winning or a whole lot or doing anything like that, we still get to perform as a team together, and having that team aspect, I really enjoy that, while also getting to have a little bit of like individuality in it too. You get to be a team as well, and I couldn't do anything that I do without my teammates. I can't get out there by myself and play 1v5 every game. It's not how it works. Someone has to get the ball to me. Someone like it has to work together. So the team aspect would probably be my favorite.
Absolutely. Now you follow up after that one, Ryan.
Yeah, I will because I've got all the a nice little graphic to show you here in just a few minutes. But
Yeah,
I'm
right.
gonna ask, I'm
Ryan,
gonna ask,
Ryan made you something. I don't know if you're. I'm sure you know about one. I don't know if you know about the other they put on
but one of my favorite questions to ask. What's your favorite restaurant to eat at around where you live at, Corbin or Belleville?
Okay, mi casa. Me and my friends are Mexican lovers. Like Mexican food is our go-to. I probably unhealthily eat Mexican way more often than I should. Like with my friends, my boyfriend, with my family, it is just like, where do you want to go to eat? We're going to mi casa in Corbin. That is just like repetitive, and it never gets old. I never get tired of it. Never.
there.
What what
Uh,
you like
Bo-
I'm sure I'm gonna get ready to take it. You got the cheese sauce on top of it.
Yes, yes. I order the cheese dip, and then I
cheese
order
on everything. Cheese
yeah,
on
cheese on
everything.
every
Yeah.
the cheese sauce goes on everything. Yes.
Like no red sauce, but cheese on
No,
everything. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
cheese
yeah.
on everything. Yes.
Uh,
That's the way I
Lauren,
am.
I have to tell you one thing before Rob finishes here with you. Uh, Edward likes Taco Bell. Okay,
Me too.
okay, but now he will not eat at a Mexican restaurant. But he likes Taco Bell.
Well, I think it's different, honestly. I kind of understand what he's saying. It is different. Even though Taco Bell is like Mexican food, in my mind, I don't think of like Mi Casa and Taco Bell to be like similar things. I think that that's different. I know that's probably weird, like, but I understand what you're saying. Like, I think it is different. I love Taco Bell too, though. Taco Bell is probably top five. Taco Bell is my favorite. After me and my mom
See,
get home from an away game, we go to Taco Bell and we will like close that thing down at 9. It'll be like 9:20. We'll sit there till like 9:55. They close at 10, and then we're cleaning up and like that's a thing for us. She's like, "You hungry?" I'm like, "Taco Bell." That's where we go after we play away games and then come back from the bus. It's Taco Bell. So I
So,
understand him on
see,
that one.
so am I
Lauren,
thinking?
Lauren gets it. Lauren gets it. We're gonna have to bring her on every week now.
So am I thinking Lauren's top five might be El Dorados,
Yeah,
Mikasa, Taco
and
Bell?
chicken, chicken, chicken. I'm a chicken person too.
Well, Lee's. You can't go wrong with Lee's.
Yes, no, I agree. I love Lee's.
The potato wedgies. Oh yeah, potato wedgies.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
And this is my last question before I show you the graphic. Uh, what was your favorite cross country track to run at?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that question. Okay. Um, Let me think of favorite. Probably Somerset Christians. And I can't really explain it. When the first time I ran it, I hated it. I despised it because we were told it had absolutely no hills, none at all. It was a flat course. And then the bus is driving up this humongous hill as we're pulling up there, and we see like the flags on the side of the hill, and we're like, Oh my gosh. We're like, what do you mean it's flat? It's not flat. But I always PR on that course. Like that is just a personal record course for me. I always PR on it. Even with the big hill at the end, it's like once you hit the hill, you know you're almost done and it almost makes you want to get up it faster just so you can get around there and get to the finish. And so that was like a hatred course when I first saw it. I was like, there is no way I'm going to do good on this course. And it ended up being a personal record course. So probably that course.
Yeah, and I know you. I think it was last week. You hit a milestone, and I'm gonna show it to you here. And it will be shareable on our Facebook pages and everything else, so you'll be able to share and do whatever with it.
Oh, I love that. That looks so good.
I'm gonna take down the little banner thing, Dale, so you can actually see the whole thing.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. That looks great. I love that.
I spent 20 minutes before the show together.
Well, I know you made it quite clear, and anybody that knows you knows you're about team first. You're not about individuality, but when you see that state ranking, see you number 6 on that scoring, that's an honor in itself. That shows that the work that you've been putting in individually. Again, I know you're all about team, but that's something that we're proud whenever we see one of our local girls on there. Hey, yeah, look at that number 6. Like we can flex a little bit.
Yeah.
So just keep on keeping on. And again, thank you for coming on. I don't know if Ryan's got anything else for you, but I know that Everett's got a few other things for you.
I got a couple.
Also.
Yeah, I got a couple things to show her, but I think Ryan's got a food bracket he wants to ask you about.
Yeah, we have our field of 64 restaurants that we had last week. We had a 16 seed beat a number 1 seed. So, but would you like to vote in it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
See, the first one is Chili's versus McDonald's.
I'm gonna have to go with McDonald's because I like chicken nuggets a whole lot. So
Well, but before the show, Chili's was up 2-0, but now McDonald's is just like they've shut the door. They like McDonald's said no, Chili's, get out of here,
And the next one here is White Castle versus Shiloh Steakhouse.
I'm gonna go with White Castle on that one. I think I'm gonna go with White Castle.
Can't go wrong with White Castle.
No, I agree.
The next one here we got is Dairy Queen versus Denny's.
Dairy Queen. That is actually where we have my birthday dinner at every year. And that's funny to sound like you have a birthday dinner at Dairy Queen, but I love Dairy Queen. So
what do you get? Thank you.
Okay, chicken strip basket with cheese curds, and then they have those little pretzels of the queso. Yep, that's it. Yeah. Any place I go, I'm getting chicken because I'm very picky. I'm very I won't eat any other type of meat other than chicken. So chicken is my everything. Anytime I go anywhere, it has to have chicken in it.
So I guess you're a fan of Raising Cane's, ain't you?
Yes, I love Cane's.
Oh.
And now see, make fun of me for being picky. Ain't nothing wrong with being picky. See, Lauren gets it.
Nothing wrong.
And then the last one before I get you over to Edward here, we got Slim Chicken versus Penn Station.
I'm gonna go Slim Chicken with that.
He just answered that. Have you ate that one, the Slim Chickens?
Yes. My papa raves about that, and so he took me and my mama and my brother there, and we've went a couple times actually, and he really likes it, and I think it's really good too. So
yeah,
I've never ate it, so I'm gonna have to go eat there next time I'm in London.
You are. I think it's good. I think it's really good, but also I'm biased. So
it sort of reminds me of a Raising Cane's to a point, don't it?
It does. Maybe yeah, I think they're pretty similar, in my opinion. I agree.
Edward.
All right. So, Lauren, we do tend to put together a couple graphics for each student athlete that does come on our show. And that's kind of our way of saying thank you for taking your time to come on. And I will get these sent out to you. And then they will also be posted on every one of our social media sites. But I just kind of want to get your idea on which one you like the most, whether it's the first one or the second one. And Mark's trying to bribe you.
No, I'm just fly.
He's 1-1. He's 1-1 tonight.
I did win one tonight. I'm like 1 and
So
1.
see, you're going
See,
to
that's
be
what I'm
you're
saying. My
going to be the
record's 1
tiebreaker.
and
Okay, no pressure, right? None at all.
1.
Oh, okay. I really like that. Oh, guys, I don't like picking. Okay. Okay. I really like both of them, but I think I like one better. I'm sorry, Mike.
Uh-huh.
I saw the two. I'm sorry. I love them both though. They're pretty close. It's a very tight. If I could pick both, I'd pick both. But if I had to choose, it's probably one.
So see, we're going to have to bring Lauren on every show. She's a picky eater. She understands about the Taco Bell Mexican. She likes number one. I mean, we got to bring her back on now.
Yeah, I mean, we could eat Lay's all the time, the potato wedgies, and yeah. I do like the potato wedgies at least.
But Lauren, I do want to personally thank you for taking your time for coming on. And, again, from everything that you and your team's doing, I'm seeing the improvement. You're absolutely killing it. Your team, they're right there. So, the improvements came very far from the first game till now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you and your team can do the remaining part of this season.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all so much for having me on.
Yeah, the comment. You want to read it there, Edward?
Well, I didn't know if you was going to or not, but if you want to, go right ahead.
Chris Holland, so proud of this kid. She's a hard worker.
Thank you, Coach Holland. They're watching. Yeah.
But Mark, Ryan,
I
Ryan,
want
got
to
anything
say
else?
don't say thank you for coming on, and best of luck to you in the rest of the basketball season, and best of luck when softball comes around here very shortly.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Have a good night.
You too.
And have a good night. It's a great interview, and she gets it. Rachel gets it. Gentry gets it. They was all in here, a lot of kicks and giggles tonight. That's what it's all about. Have fun, and then they get enough sports and practice and all that. It's good to laugh. Ryan, have you got her totals up? Or you yet?
I got them totals besides y'all's too. So we got to do.
So we need to get. Edward, you want to vote first, or do we vote together here?
Well, I'm going number 14, McDonald's.
I'm going 14 McDonald's too. The hash browns, the biscuit gravy. I just go McDonald's breakfast.
I went with McDonald's too. And I'll get the totals after we're done and everything.
I'm going with number 11, Shiloh Steakhouse.
I'm going with White Castle. I love the castle.
And I went with White Castle as well.
And on this one, I have to go with Denny's. I mean, the hash browns and the all-you-can-eat food. I mean, you just can't go wrong right there.
I thought Denny's would run away with this. A lot of DQ love tonight. I can tell you that. But I'm with Edward 100%. How can you not go Denny's here? And we're talking Denny's at breakfast. Denny's breakfast. Goodness.
I went with Denny's as well.
So that got tight real quick there.
Not really ate Slim Chickens. I've had Penn Station a few times, so I guess I'm going to have to go Penn Station.
I'm going to give Paul the footsteps of Edward. He'll think I'm copying him, but I like chicken. Trust me, I like the Raising Cane's and stuff like that. But I like Penn Station. I go there quite a bit.
And I went with Penn Station as well.
So it seems like we had the majority of, other than one, we had about the same votes. So
yeah, and I'll get the totals on the hour instead of wait until afterwards to do it. Penn Station won 4-3, so that's a 15 over a number 2.
Number 1 and number 2 went down.
And in the same bracket too.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen won 5-3. McDonald's won 7-2.
Yeah, and then Chili's get up on them 2-0.
Yep. And then
throw the haymaker.
and then White Castle won 4-3.
Yeah.
Oh, boo! They cheated. We need to talk to them refs. Them refs cheated. Bad call at the end of the game. Bad call.
Edward tried to say that White Castle's in Kansas City or something like that. I don't know what he's trying to hint here. But a great show, folks, and the great guests we had on tonight, and Gentry coming here and killed it. Of course, we knew Rachel would. Of course, we knew Lauren would, and just absolutely loved the interviews with them. And Lauren gave a very powerful answer. And folks, it was just hard to follow up from that. It just. But all these kids, they get it way more than I did at their age. But Ryan or Edward, I'll let you give your final thoughts. Edward, if you want to talk a little bit about your show, Ryan, if you want to talk about what you've been doing and all them good stories you've been writing, and just whoever wants to charm in here.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first, and I've got a quote. I've got a quote to go with it, but I didn't make this thing today. Next week's matchups that we will be covering next week. Some powerful matchups as well, and we'll have them pose up next week. But just been writing some very good stories from these high school games. Very, very interesting games. Games have been limited due to weather. I'm kind of hoping the weather goes away and we can get back to playing ball non-stop instead of having to go here and there and everywhere else. But I do like my quote. It is relevant to what tomorrow is for. But it says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King Jr.
Can't go wrong with anything that man said.
Absolutely. So we are gonna, you just gotta stay tuned and keep tabs to see what's happening on Wednesday. And next week's a new week.
And of course, Edward won't give us a hint about nothing about his show.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'll be there. And next week, you never know where we might show up at. But I'm gonna leave you with a hard hitter today. I don't train hard to be better than you. I train hard to be better than me yesterday. The one and only Allen Iverson.
That's the first AI quote I've heard. That's pretty good. Edward coming in with the haymaker. He did a McDonald's. Edward just did a McDonald's. McDonald's said McDonald's wasn't ready to go home. I can tell you that right now. Edward wasn't ready to go home. But I don't have nothing inspirational tonight because I had something else charming on me real quick, and I'll make it quick because I know Edward says I rattle too much. But again, two big things. Of course, tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day. What a great man. And it's also another day tomorrow's Trump's inauguration. So two things will be going on tomorrow. And I want to chime on one about Donald Trump. And I'm not going to get all political on this show. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, liberal, whatever. It doesn't matter. We should all come together as a country. We should all come together and support this president. We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we all should want to do good for each other because if America's striving, we're striving. So let's hope that some things that need to be fixed gets fixed. And just tomorrow, let's all be Americans. Let's not be Republicans. Let's not be Democrats. Let's not be whoever. Let's be Americans. Let's accept this president, and let's be as one. And that being said, from all of us at Bryant Family Medicine on Sports Media, good night. God bless.